plus z over z square plus 1 dz minus 4 times dz over z square plus 1 is equal to 0. Alright? So, let's recall the formula in integral calculus, wherein you have the formula, the integral of du over u square plus a square is equal to, okay, arctangent u over a. Okay? So, in this particular term, your u is z and your a is 1. Dito kasi wala tayong problema. So, integrating this, we have ln of b plus, if your u is z squared plus 1, your du must be 2z dz. So we have to multiply this with 1/2. So we have 1/2 ln of z squared plus 1 minus 4. The integral of du over u squared plus a is arctangent, okay, z over 1. Okay? Z over 1. So, wag natin ilagay yung 1 is equal to C. But what is Z? Your Z is U over V. Since we let U here be equal to CV, your U therefore, your Z therefore is equal to U over V. So in this case, we have ln of B plus ln of U square over V square, since your Z is equal to U over V, plus 1 raised to 1/2. Okay? Minus 4 arctangent Z is U over V is equal to C. Okay? Simplifying this further, we have ln of B times U square plus V square over V square raised to 1/2 minus 4 arctangent of U over V is equal to C. Okay? So ln of B times U square plus V square raised to 1/2 over V square raised to 1/2 minus 4 arctangent U over V is equal to C. So V square raised to 1/2 is simply V. V and V cancels. So we have ln of the square root of U square plus V square minus 4 arctangent U over B. But what is U? Your U is x minus 1 in here. This gives us U is equal to x minus 1. That's U. And your V is equal to y plus 2 in here. You have y, B is equal to y plus 2. Okay? So, substituting this in your final solution. We have ln of the square root of x minus 1 square plus y plus 2 square minus 4 arctangent x minus 1 over y plus 2 is equal to C. What is the answer? Ln of the square root of 1 minus x minus 1 square plus y plus 2 square minus 4 arctangent x minus 1 over y plus 2. So this answers example number 3. Medyo mahaba, but wala tayong magagawa. Okay? That answers problem number 3. Now let's have problem number 4. 4. Again, this is under case number 2, wherein the lines are intersecting. Okay? So determine the complete solution of 2x minus y dx plus 4x plus y minus 6 dy is equal to 0. Okay? So again, this is under case number 2. We have to compute your value of m and n simultaneously. So we have 2x minus y is equal to 0 and 4x plus y minus 6 is equal to 0. So right away we may have the value of y is equal to 2x. So if y is equal to 2x, we have 4x plus 2x minus 6 is equal to 0, or x is simply equal to 1. Okay? If x is 1, your y must be equal to 2. Again, we have to let x be equal to u plus h plus 1. This is h. And this is k. And your v is equal to b plus k, that is 2. Your dx, therefore, is equal to du, and this way. Your y, dy, is equal to dv. Okay? Substituting this in the original equation, we have 2 times u plus 1, that is x, minus v plus 2 dx du plus 4 times x is u plus 1 plus y is v plus 2 minus 6 dy is dv is equal to 0. Okay? So we have 2u plus 2 minus v minus 2 du plus 4u plus 4 plus v plus 2 minus 6 dv is equal to 0. So 2 and 2 cancel. So we have 2u minus v du plus 4, 2, and 6 cancels. 4u plus v dv is equal to 0. Again, we have a homogeneous differential equation since we cannot separate the variable in this equation. Okay? So again, we have to let z be equal to, what is z? We have to let equation 3, we have to let u, we have to let u be equal to ZV and du be equal to ZdV plus V dZ. Okay? So in here we have 2u is ZV minus V, du is ZdV plus V dZ plus 4u is 4ZV plus V dV is equal to 0. Right? Distributing, we have 2z square V dV minus plus 2zV square dz minus Vz dV minus V square dz plus 4z plus 1 V dV is equal to 0. Okay? Combining terms, these two terms here, we have 2z square minus z V dV plus 2z minus 1 V square dz plus 4z plus 1 V dV is equal to 0. Okay? Again, combining terms. Here. Combining terms. We have 2z square minus z plus 4z plus 1 V dV plus 2z minus 1 V square dz is equal to 0. Or we have 2z square plus 3z plus 1 V dz plus 2z minus 1 V square dz is equal to 0. Ay, mali. Teka. Ba't pareho ng z? dv to. This must be dv. Okay. dv. So we have, separating the variables, we have v dv over v square plus 2z minus 1 dz all over 2z square plus 3z plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? Now, how are you going to integrate this? Okay? So we have v dv over v square plus 2z minus 1 over 2z square plus 3z plus 1 dz is equal to 0. Okay? So, if we are going to have u to be 2z square plus 3z, so magkakaproblema tayo. It is not even possible for us to have, okay? So that's our problem. Dito wala tayong problema. Wala magiging problema dyan. Now, how are we going to have 2z minus 1 over 2z squared plus 3z plus 1 into its So let's use completing the square in algebra. That is, if you still recall completing the square. So in completing the square for the denominator, so for 2z squared plus 3z plus 1, we have to divide everything by 2. So we have z squared plus 3 over 2z plus 1 over 2. Okay? In completing the square, we have to take note of the coefficient of z. Get half the coefficient of z. So half the coefficient of z is 3 over 4. Square half the coefficient of z. So we have 9 over 4, and add that. Okay? So if we have v dv over v squared plus 2z minus 1 over 2z squared plus 3 over 2 plus 1 dz. If you're going to divide the denominator by 2, you'll have dv over v plus 2z minus 1 all over z squared pa lang pala ito 3z all over z squared plus 3 over 2z plus 1 over 2 dz is equal to 0. If we're going to let this be equal to z squared plus 3 over 2z plus 1 half, your du must be 2z plus 3 over 2. Okay? But we don't have 3 over 2 on the numerator. Okay? So we have dv over v plus 2z plus 3 over 2. Nagdagdag ako ng 3 over 2. Kung magma-minus ako ng 3 over 2, wala nangyari. Minus 1. Okay? So 2z plus 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 minus 1 is the same as 2z minus 1. All over z squared plus 3 over 2z plus 1 half. What we're going to do is to group these two. Okay? dz is equal to 0. Or we have dv over v plus 2z plus 3 over 2 all over z squared plus 3 over 2 z plus 1 half dz. Pwede na ngayon yan. Okay? Minus, okay? 3 over 2 plus 1 is 5 over 2 dc all over z squared plus 3 over 2z plus 1 half. Okay? In here, we may have to complete the square